Good morning. Today we'll talk about the nature of light. We see light is a form of energy like the other forms of energy, electric energy, sound energy, and magnetic energy, and so on. But what is the difference between light and other forms of energy? Light, we can see it, so its external factor affect eyes, causing the sense of vision. And what is the nature of light? As we know before, it's an electromagnetic transverse wave. Why it's an electromagnetic wave? Because it can propagate through vacuum or through space with very high velocity, 3 times 10 power 8 meter per second. And it's also transverse wave because it can propagate perpendicular to the direction of propagation, and it form crest and trough. What about the light speed? What's the meaning of the word speed? Speed, it means we have distance covered by the object in unit time. What is the unit of the time? It's second. So what is the light speed? It is the distance covered by light in 1 second. Speed equal distance with meter divided time with second. What is the visible light? Visible light, it is one of the components of electromagnetic spectrum, which wavelengths range from 380 to 700 nanometer. And what about the properties of light? Properties of light, we have the first one, that light can be analyzed. It's analysis of light. Analysis means the splitting or separation of light into 7 colors called 7 spectrum colors. And these 7 colors start from red, orange, yellow, green, or indigo, violet. And why we can separate white light? Because it consists of these 7 spectrum colors by using structure or a device called glass prism. So what is the importance of glass prism? Glass prism is used to make analysis of light into 7 spectrum colors. So we can analyze white light into 7 spectrum colors by this glass prism. Who study this light and these properties of light? Scientist, his name Max Planck. So Max Planck is the founder of quantum theory. What's the meaning of quantum? Means quantum theory means the energy of light or the photon energy. He says that the energy of the photon is directly proportional with the frequency. So the photon energy directly proportional with the frequency. So photon energy equal Max Planck constant times its frequency or the frequency of the photon. As the frequency increase, so the energy will increase. So what is the energy of the photon? It is the Planck constant times its frequency. The first color we have red, the last one it's violet. The frequency of red is small, so the energy will be small. What about the violet? It's big and the energy will be big. What about the wavelengths of red? It's long wavelengths, and the violet it's small wavelengths. Which one will we have first? It's the red, so it has low deviation, and the violet it has more, or its deviation increase. What is the importance of light in our life? We can use light to make many different kinds of lamps. Like we have a spotlight, which use it to illuminate artifacts, and we have ornamented lamps, which bring for us happiness and joy. We have a stand lamp. We use it in reading when we study our lesson, which help us to study our lesson well. So the first property of light, that we can make analysis for light, or light can be analyzed. The second one, we have the behavior of light through different media. We have 3 types of media: transparent, opaque, and translucent. Transparent like what? Like air, like pure water, clear glass. When I have light which pass through air, we can see it clearly, and we can see the objects through it with full details. So what is the behavior of transparent materials through light? It allows light to pass, and we can see everything behind it with full details. What about opaque, like wood, metal, carton, human, foil, milk, books, black honey, and rocks? This make what? Block the light. What's the meaning of block? Means it prevents the moving of light through it. It block it, and it doesn't allow the light to pass, and we can't see anything. When I stand behind the door and you are in our classroom, you can see me because The door is wood, and wood is opaque material which doesn't allow any light to pass. What about translucent material? Translucent material, it's like flint glass and tissue. It allows some of light to pass, and we can see the things behind it but less clearly. When I ask you a question, give reason. Air is transparent material because it allows most of light to pass, and we can see everything behind it. Give reason. We can't see anything behind wood because wood is opaque material, so it doesn't allow any light to pass. We say that transparent material allows the light to pass, but what about when we increase the thickness of the transparent material? Like what? Like I make many transparent plastic bags above each other. We can't see anything, or we can see the things under it but less clearly. So when the thickness of the transparent material increase, so the quantity of light which passes through it will decrease. As when we look at the sea, we can see the fish. Why? Because the thickness of water is more enough, which prevents the passing of light, so we can see the things clearly. We have good reason. When we put anything inside the transparent plastic bag, we can see it clearly because the transparent plastic bag allows most of light to pass. Give reason. We can't see anything behind rock because rock is opaque material, and so on. So the first one, light can be analyzed, analysis of light. The second one, we have a different behavior of light through different materials. The third one, light travel in a straight line. When I make activity, I get 3 papers and I put a hole in the center of each one, and we have torch or a source of light, and we look at the light. The light will travel in a straight line. So here I can see it. But when I move anyone up or down, so I can see the light. So from here we know that light can travel through transparent material in a straight line. This is the third property of light. What about the light intensity or brightness? I said we have law, and this law called inverse square law of light. Before we see the law, we see what is the meaning of light intensity. Light intensity means how can I see this light. So it is the amount of light which incident in a unit area of the object or a surface in 1 second. And as we increase the distance, the light intensity will decrease, and the opposite is true. How? Because when I darken my room and I have a torch and I light the torch to any of the walls, so what happened? I can see it clearly when I make the distance smaller, when we decrease the distance. But when we increase the distance, so we can see it but less clearly. So what is the inverse square law of light? Said that the light intensity inversely proportional with the square distance between the source of light and the object. What happens if the distance increases to double, so the light intensity decreases to quarter? What happens if the distance decreases to half, the light intensity increases to 4 times? So when I ask you which one has more intensity, when we stand from the light source is 3 meter or 5 meter, sure we see it's 3 meter because when we decrease the distance, so the light intensity will increase, and so on. So when I ask you some questions, light waves are dots waves, electromagnetic transverse wave, which can travel through space. And what is the velocity of light? 3 times 10 power 8 meter per second. And light waves are formed from what we see, it's electromagnetic transverse wave, so it formed from crests and trough. We saw this is the properties of light. The first one, light can be analyzed, or we have analysis of light. Light different, we have different behavior according to the type of the material, transparent, translucent, and opaque, and also light intensity, which decrease by increasing the distance, and the light travel in a straight line.
مثلا